So I just saw It Comes at Night. What's his name? Terry Edward Schultz? Trey Edward Schultz's new horror film, It Comes at Night.
I just want to talk. And I want honest answers. Do you have any idea what's going on out there?
After seeing the movie, I would say that this is more of a character-driven drama than it is a horror movie. It's like a character piece set to a horror backdrop. It's post-apocalypse where people are getting sick. That's all they say, is that people are getting sick. And you see one person right at the beginning, the dad or the grandpa of the family, that's the main protagonist of the movie. And he has these like boils, not boils, I don't even know what they are. They're like these horrible rashes and like, I don't know. He looks very sickly, very ill. He has black eyes, and he's kind of, you see later, blood comes out of his mouth. And anyway, people are getting sick, and it's this backdrop for a character drama, which I think works incredibly well. It's weird. Like 2017 seems to be the year of the horror movie. We got A Cure for Wellness, which I know a lot of people hate, but I personally loved. Get Out, Autopsy of Jane Doe, Raw, Split, all kinds of really great horror movies. And this one is another great horror movie from another small studio. Most of these horror movies right now are from small studios like Blumhouse, Jason Blum, and A24, which is the studio for this movie. And it's really great. That's all I have to say about this movie, is that it is really, really great, and that you should see this movie.
Just gonna run through a few things. When we go out during the day, we like to stick to groups just for safety. The red door, it's the only way in and out of the house. It stays closed and locked all the time. I have the keys. It's the only set. The most important thing...
What's he see?
It's okay. Just go inside. We never go out at night.
This is not a Woman in Black 2. This is not a Paranormal Activity 4 or anything like that. This is a very unique character-driven film that moves at a deliberately slow pace. So I've seen a lot of early reviews where people are saying, well, reviews from just random people, but I've seen a lot of people talking about how boring this movie is, how slow this movie is, how nothing happens, blah, 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 blah. And I can see where they're coming from. When you go in expecting a Krampus, or go in expecting a Paranormal Activity movie, and you get a slow-moving character drama, it's probably a little bit jarring, especially if you are just going to see it to be with a girlfriend, to just be like, hoo, gotcha, hi, you got scared, I didn't, then you won't like this movie. I know a lot of people that don't, and as I was saying, I think it's mainly because of how slow and deliberate it is in its approach to this material. It's one of the most methodically paced movies of the year for a big budget movie, a wide release movie. It's very slow. It moves at a creeping pace that kind of builds on itself, and near the end it is like frantic. So the movie itself, I think, is extremely well paced, where it just builds. Every scene seems to build on its last scene to get you all the way through the movie without. For me, I never felt like I was bored. I was constantly engaged and gripped by the movie. It wasn't ever a oh, this is so scary, like nail biter, edge of the seat kind of movie. It was like this unsettling, just like tension. It was constantly tense, where at the end of the movie, when the credits rolled, my stomach kind of felt sick because it was just this constant tension where it's like, where's it going? Where's it going? Where's it going? It's one of those movies where you come out of it and it's just kind of sickening, and it really sat with me for hours after I'd seen it. When I was going to bed, like 4 hours later, I was still thinking about it and dwelling on it and how kind of miserable the movie is. But that's its best aspect. Like the movie is all about human nature in a sense. It's all about this family that brings in another family because they feel like they're being good people, and then they start to turn on each other, essentially, is the main plot. But it takes a very long time to get to any of those points because it is deliberately setting the stage for the end. And the end, I won't spoil because it's great. The ending is so perfect for this movie that it's both incredibly haunting and thoroughly satisfying. So I'm not going to spoil it. You should just see the movie because that ending is great for what this movie is trying to do.
The door was already open when you got there.
Yeah.
Then who opened it?
I know a lot of people are saying that they're off-put by the fact that nothing's really explained. And for me, that is the perfect way to set this movie up. That's the only way to set this movie up. Where the movie, like I said, is set to this backdrop of a post-apocalypse. I know a lot of people, I think, went into this movie because of the advertising, because of the title, because of the vague posters, all that stuff, went into this movie expecting to see a new monster, a brand new cult icon, and you don't get that, ever. The movie is not about that at all. It's about the characters, and by not showing the sickness, by not explaining the sickness, whatever it may be, you're left to fear the unknown just like the characters are. The main family, the three, Joel Edgerton, his wife, and his son, are in this house, and they go through like a rigid regiment. That's not a right word, but they go through a rigid process of barricading themselves in their house where they have flashlights, they have some lanterns, but their house is all boarded up. They don't ever go out at night. They have double locked doors keeping them from the outside. And that setup automatically makes you think, what's coming? And the title, It Comes at Night. What comes at night? Nothing. Ever. The title is sort of a play on the movie where it's nothing actually comes at night, but people's fear of the unknown escalates at night because you can't see too far in front of you. Like in the daytime, you're up on top of a mountain and you can see for hundreds of miles. At night, you can't see any of that. You can see some stars, but what is that going to help you? So I think it's a really interesting play. The title's a very interesting play on the actual movie. And it has the guts to make you question your own logic at the end, where it's like, what would you do in this situation? And then the very last shot of the movie is perfect. It's very haunting, it's very harrowing, and it just works. I know, I feel like I'm getting off topic with myself, just bouncing around with this movie, but everything is so well done that it's hard to kind of contain myself to one thing. It's just one of my favorite movies of the year, and you should check it out. It's so great. Like,
If they're sick, then I am too. If you're lying to me, I will kill you.
and I tip my cap to Trey Edward Schultz, because he did a fantastic job. And I would say keep your eye on this director. He's proved with small and large budgets that he can make great movies. So in the end, I'm going to give this movie a 9 out of 10. My only small gripe is that there is a small window in the middle portion of the movie where the pacing starts to feel like it's falling apart just a little bit, where it drags at a certain segment. But other than that, I loved this movie.